Hello there, good evening, hope you're well. If I look very similar to how I did in my last video, it's because I am. I decided to film 2 videos in one day for a change, just to try and, increase my output, because I thought that'd be nice. In terms of like editing videos and stuff, it's just easier. It's still warm and sweaty, and up here my lighting is really odd, which is why I normally don't film near my bookshelf. But as you know from the title, I thought that today I would go through the last books that are left on my bookshelf. In a recent video, I referred to them as the dregs, which I thought, in retrospect was a bit unfair. I'm actually really looking forward to reading all of these books. I'm not sure if I will. The situation at the moment is the library is set to reopen and lockdowny stuff end pretty soon. So that's going to be really nice. But as it stands, I don't have a physical book on the go. I've got an audiobook and an ebook, but I don't have a physical book, and that kind of hurts. So maybe I will read one of these remaining books. We'll see. So just to introduce my shelves, we have the top ones are books that I've read. The bottom ones that you can't really see are reference books and like academic, philosophy, also manga, and just bits and bobs that don't really fit. And then in the middle we have reading and hasn't read yet. So these books are the books that I am like kind of, currently reading, like halfway through and put on pause, whether it's because they're short story collections, and I really like reading short story collections over a long period, like years, so that I like having books that you can just, they still have some mysteries, like they still have things that you haven't found in them yet. So short story collections are really good for that, just like dipping in and out of when you feel like it. And also some novels that I just totally gave up on. Moby Dick's in there, for example. So those are those ones. But when it comes to books that are completely untouched, they are virgin soil, then that's what goes here, and that's what I've taken out and will introduce to you now. To begin with, I've got 2 short story collections as well. These are the only short story collections in the group, both in Spanish. One is Fábulas Orales Aymaras, so like fables from Peru, from the indigenous tribe to Peru, which was a gift from my friend Dee, which I'm really happy about and excited to try. And then just stories, cuentos, by Edgar Allan Poe, but translated by Julio Cortázar, who is one of my favorite writers. So that's really exciting as well. My Spanish isn't that good, and I'm just not in the mood for short stories at the moment. I want like a proper novel. I want like a proper novel, like if I'm gonna pick up one of these books. So yeah, I'm not gonna think about those for now. Next one is A Tale for the Time Being. It's a bit of a glare there, maybe, but yeah, this was I think most of these were presents. This was a present from a friend. When I came to Japan, she said this was something I should read at that time, like right at that moment in my life. She said it would be good, and don't worry about it. She said this was a book that I should read then, and I obviously didn't do that, so I have a sort of a sense of guilt hanging over this book. And also, that friend then stopped being my friend, and it was like, and it is kind of awkward. So I've got like really weird vibes around this book, but I've heard that lots of people really love it, and I don't really know what I don't know anything about it, so I kind of like, I want to get over my weird vibes and just get into it. So maybe that's a possibility. Next we have this blue whale of a book. This is, I don't know how to say it, 2666 or 2666 by Roberto Bolaño. It's, he's a Chilean writer who is like really famous, and this is like one of his big towering books. All the quotes on the back say things like, Bolaño has come close to reimagining the novel, and a masterpiece, the electrifying literary event of the year. So it's all really hyperbolic and quite exciting, and big books like this are kind of intriguing for me, especially after I read the big Dostoevsky this year. It really kind of whet my appetite for reading something big. But I should mention as well, when I finish the book, obviously it's going to go up into the top shelf, and as you can see, there is very little space for what comes next. So if I were to read this like behemoth of a book, and obviously it wouldn't fit here, which would mean I would have to kind of rejig my whole shelving system. So I'm probably not going to read that one just for practical reasons. Probably same with this one, The Unconsoled by Kazuo Ishiguro. I really like the cover on this one. Maybe I should be holding the covers a bit closer. I don't know, again, I don't know anything about this book. It was a gift from my friend Jiro. Thanks, Jiro. Sorry, I haven't read your book yet. Yeah, I read one book by Ishiguro. I read, what's it called? The Remains of the Day. And I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I thought it was kind of overhyped. And yeah, there were things about it that just didn't really work for me. So I've never been that excited to go back to him. But maybe it'll happen one day. Next we have Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut with a little sticker, flappy flap. There you go, that's the cover. And yeah, obviously a classic. Again, don't know anything about it, but it's very nice and short, so that's actually quite tempting. Maybe just something to tide me over till the library reopens. Next we have Anthology of Chinese Literature, kind of the opposite of that feeling. This is one of the only ones that I find like I'm not so intrigued to get into. Like I find this one like it's a bit of a albatross. It's like a burden, because I don't really like, this was a gift obviously, and I don't really like books that are like, what's the word, compilations, but excerpts, compilations of excerpts, because then you read lots of little bits of things, and I get the idea. It's so that you find one that you really like and then you can go to the real thing, or some people are just fine with just not reading the whole work. But I'm one of those like nitpicky obsessive people where I feel like if I've read a bit of it, then I really ought to try and read the whole thing. So it's just me. It's not you, it's me. But this is all just excerpts from Chinese literature, and I'd rather read Chinese literature, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know about that. But I brought it all the way to Japan, so why did I? No, whatever. Under the Volcano by Malcolm Lowry. This is meant to be like this sort of hallucinogenic, druggy. I don't know. He's not drugs. It's alcohol, right? Yeah, like this guy's like an alcoholic. Is he a Brit? I think he's a Brit in Mexico, in a little town on the Day of the Dead. Under the volcano, there's like a volcano. Sounds like it's one of these stream of consciousness kind of things, which, the idea of, I like this idea of sort of a nightmarish world, and also, it's in Latin America, so that's kind of interest to me, and exploring like different, like a different cultural perspective, from someone from the outside, looking in. But also, like, I've not had luck with stream of consciousness, like ever, especially The Gathering, which I read recently. I think that might class as stream of consciousness, or like kind of, stream of consciousness adjacent. And this is, I imagine, something like stream of consciousness-y, so I'm kind of hesitant for those reasons. Then this book, yeah, Julio Cortázar, Los Premios. This is a book about a bunch of people who win a lottery. And the lottery is like a cruise, and I think the cruise is going somewhere, but they don't know where. They all get on the boat, and this is one of my favorite writers, and I love the premise of people on a boat who don't know each other, but they've all won something and they're not quite sure what they've won, and that's why they have to interact with each other. And I don't know, knowing his writing style as well, I can just imagine the things he could do with that setup. But it's all in Spanish, and I really want to like properly understand the story. So I've had this, and my whole idea is that I will get to a level of Spanish that I will be able to properly read it and understand it. I don't think it's translated into English, otherwise I would have bought it in English. Next, The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner by James Hogg. I don't know much Scottish literature, but this guy is a Scottish writer who had a really interesting life from what I've heard. And this book is a Gothic novel, Victorian Gothic novel. So, I love me some Victorian Gothic novels, and it's really short. So that's something that's definitely something I feel like I should just I should just read. I should just read it someday and get it out of the way. Not out of the way. I should consume it and love it, and who knows, maybe it'll be a new favorite. So, but also I like having it there. It's like it's got this cool cover with like the skull, and it's like a cluttered desk, I think, with a candle and everything, and music and snails or snail shells or something. It's just got such good vibes. It's like a little secret on my shelf, and I kind of like it. I kind of like it that way. And finally, I have Speak Memory by Vladimir Nabokov. It's I've read 2 books, I think, by him. I really loved his writing style then. Lolita and Pale Fire. Yeah, both I thought great books. And this is meant to be a really outstanding autobiography. I've never been interested in autobiography, but like I feel like if anyone could make a good one, it should be Vladimir Nabokov. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this. This book looks like it's kind of starting to rot, so I should probably get to this one soon as well. That's it. That's everyone. How many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 books. I don't have 11 fingers. I'm not sure why I did that. But anyway, that's what's awaiting me. It's a sort of a TBR. It's something that I'm thinking about. I might pick one. If I had to pick one like now, I don't know. Right now, if I had to pick one to read before the library opens, it would be The Unconsoled by Kazuo Ishiguro, I think. But yeah, I'm fickle. Who knows? Thank you for watching. That was a little short video just to show you the options and film in near my shelf again, because it's been a while. My shelves are literally sagging under the weight of the books that are on them. So maybe this wasn't designed for heavy books, or maybe it's just that old. I got it like secondhand. So poor thing. What do you think I should pick? What would you pick of these books? Have you read any of these books? Let's chat about it in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Look at my shadowy hand. Ooh, I can do shadow puppets. That's cool.